everybody, this is Chris from Stylharmony. Thank you for joining me. In today's video, I'm going to show you an alternative, very cheap to texture paste. So it's very easy to make, and well, actually we're not going to make it, we're just going to buy it, and this is just caulk. So as you see, I have one here, and it's in English for once, and it's latex caulk, and that's quite important, and it's paintable. So when you have to choose one, go and buy the paintable one, because you're going to be able to also paint and color directly your caulk before applying. So the materials used here are caulk, acrylic paint. If you want to color it, you would need a spatula because that's way easier to spread on your paper. You will need any kind of stencil, and also some little bowls that you want to put your caulk into, measure and to not measure but to mix with your paint, and a stick to mix all together your paint and your caulk. So what I'm going to do here, and I just opened it, I'm going to put a little bit here inside, and I'm going to see how it works with my acrylic paints. And it's just, you know, very cheap or not really expensive craft paint. You don't need to use something really expensive for this. And actually I wanted to try my my stencil that I made not long ago, and if you haven't seen this video, I will put, oh, this is coloring a lot, I put too much. Well, you know what, I'm going to do the birds, so this red is just going to be fine. I will put the video here on the upper right corner where I show you how you can make your own stencils. And I did a pineapple because I wanted one, and I just can't find it. I cleaned up my room not long ago and just don't know where I put it. I thought, hey, I'm going to put it here so I can find it easily, and I just don't remember where it is. So I'm not sure that cleaning is such a good idea sometimes. Now it's getting a little bit more pinkish, so I'm going to add a little bit more paint, and really you don't need a lot to color it, so that's a good point. You're not going to spend a lot of paint on this, and I still feel that I need a little bit more. Yeah, that's going to be better. And you could do several colors, or you could also wait until this is completely dry and paint over it. But I think that if you mix your colors before, it's going to be easier. Okay, so that's fine. And I'm going to put this aside here. Now I'm going to use my spatula. I could have still used my stick here. And I've got a white piece of, a black piece of paper here because I think you're going to see it better. And I'm just going to apply, I might zoom just a tiny wee bit, that's good. So I'm just going to apply this here, make it really stick down. And the thicker actually your stencil is, the more paste and thicker paste you're going to be able to put on. So this is my first try. I hope it's going to be good. I think I'm scraping a little bit too much. And actually I wanted to do two colors, so that's okay. I'm going to stop here, and I'm going to do this flower now. I think the color tend to go a little lighter. We'll see when it dries, if it goes lighter or if it goes darker. I'm going to add a bit more. I really am pushing, so I'm sure it's going to go onto my paper. And that's good. And you can always take the excess off. But you're not going to be able to keep this caulk into your bowl very long because it's going to dry fairly quickly. And I'm going to put a bit more here where I took a big part off. A bit more there. And I am going, so having a tissue paper on hand would be good so you can clean it up. And I'm going to do one more color, and I'm going to do a yellow orangey color. Oops, I've got something in here. And if you wanted to have even more texture, you could also put some sand in here. It would really stick to it very well. So let me, oh, I don't have enough here. And you could use this not only on paper, but you could use this on wood if you wanted to decorate, for example, a tissue box. That would be great. And the texture is a little bit changing with this paint, but I think it's going to be fine. And I like the golden color of it. Probably going to add a little bit more because I do believe it's kind of drying a little bit lighter than when you first mix your color. Maybe I didn't shake that well. Really hope I'm going to find my my pineapple. This one is really liquidy. And I'm going to apply it like this first because I think it's more handy. And then I'm going to use my spatula. And I might do even another color for the tail. I might do some green and blue. So let's see. And it's really going to dry flexible. So if you're a card maker, that would be great because you don't want something to be too stiff. And you're going to use it on many other items. Like I said, a tissue box. Oh, that's going to be lovely, I think. Can mix the both together. Maybe also a little bit on this flower. I'm going to take just a tiny bit of yellow. And yes, with sand, it's nice. I've done this on a bottle. You could also add this on a bottle. Before applying, you don't really need to prep your bottle because caulk is supposed to stick to everything. And now, very slowly, I'm trying to take it away. Always take your stencil off. Don't wait for the caulk to dry. This is, I went a little over here on my flower, but that's fine. And look at it, it's really nice. And it's, right now it's shiny. I don't know if it's going to stay shine or not afterwards. And I would consider cleaning this up very quickly because before it dries on your stencil. And I do like, let me zoom in a little bit so you can see this. And I hope I have enough light here. Ooh, this is too much. Let me see. Yeah, just take a look at this. Oh, this is nice. And it is shiny. It is, I'm sorry, there's a little bit of glare. I'm going to take a little bit less light. And it is very, very nice. I really like the look of it. And it's raised. No problem with that. I hope you'll be able also to see this. So it is raised. And as you can see, you can mix and match your colors lovely. And it's much brighter on the camera than it is in real life. The colors really did match more than that. But it's really, really nice looking. I love it. So I'm going to let this dry. And I'll come back and I'm going to finish probably my bird. Or maybe I should wait. Now that I took my stencil away, I'm not going to be able to replace it. So I'm just going to finish it and I'll show you how it goes and if it sticks well to your paper. Okay, see you in a minute. And after about an hour and a half, it dried completely. I wanted to make sure that not only the surface was dry, but also the inside here. So now it's completely dry and I'm going to show you, maybe on the white paper would be better, what it looks like from close. So as you can see, first it was, when it was just fresh, it was kind of very shiny. But now if you take a look at it, some areas in my paint, especially the areas where I have some yellow, are kind of shiny. But the pink part of it, and especially the leaves here, are completely matte. So I love the look of the shiny that I have, of the shine that I had before. So I'm going to fix this. And also, I was wondering if my paints were a little different. And in fact, yes. I've used these two paints to color my flower. And this one is just acrylic paint. It doesn't say that it's shiny or not. But on this one, okay, it's not written in English, but it's written that it is shiny. So also depending on the kind of acrylic paint you're going to use with your caulk, the result might be more or less shiny. That's something I wanted to share with you as well. So now I'm going to show you my butterfly that I finished. The problem is that I've moved my, while I was putting my caulk, I moved my stencil, and you can see here the definition is really not great, especially here on my tail, and I don't have the flower here. But we're going to fix this. I'm just going to go over it, especially here on the tail, and I'm going to add more yellow on it. So we're going to concentrate more that the eyes will focus more on the raised areas and not what's underneath. So we'll kind of fix this, and it won't look so bad that it looks right now. And I will again put some varnish on it, and what I'm going to use is Mod Podge, the Super Gloss Mod Podge, because that works well, and it dries pretty quick, and this is what I want. But I'll do this when my whole card is put together. So I wasn't really sure what kind of background I wanted for this, but I wasn't sure if I wanted some green, but that was too green. As you can see, that's way too much. And then I thought about yellow, because I have a little bit of yellow in here, and that is even too bright for me. It looks nice, but I don't know, I think it's too much. So then I thought maybe some red, or pink color, and that also was too much. So I still like this black area that I left here. Actually, it's not black, it's a very dark gray. And I like the look of it because it enhanced my flower, and I'm not good in very intricate, and I'm not that patient too, to do very intricate cutting. So I want on the sides like this. And finally I thought, well, I had all these papers that I've done, marbled paper with shaving cream, if you want to check out this video, because that's really nice and fun to do and so quick. And I have a bunch of these papers left, and I said, well, that might be something good to use, but I didn't want a paper that was too busy with a lot of dark colors. So I decided that I would go for this one, and with my black around my flower, I think it makes it pop out. And then I decided to put a little bit of black border to remind the border of here, because otherwise we're not going to understand what the black is coming from. And then I decided to put the pink outside, because I thought that was really the good color, because this would remember the inside of the flower, because they match perfectly. And then finally mount it on a card. I don't usually do so many layers, but I really thought that it was appropriate, because more we come here, and every time I cut my paper to a smaller size, so we focus more and more and more on the centerpiece that we really want to focus on. So I'm going to put this card together very quickly, and I'm going to use my ATG gun because I just think it's really nice. And by the way, if you knew a good website where I could buy the refills for a good price, it don't I mean, if it's off-brand, I'm totally fine with this. So let me see. When I talk, and I talk a lot, I know, I need to concentrate before sticking it down. So now I'm going to put my black. Woo, and I've got paint on that one. Well, you know what? Nobody's gonna know. Nobody's gonna know. Yeah, I'm interested in good prices for refills. Whoops. Where is my tape gone? And it's full. Let me see. Okay, I think it got tucked. Let me see. I think I fixed it. Yeah. Sometimes it happens. Okay, now I'm going to stick this one on top. Take these pieces away. I think I like it this way. Now my marble paper. Oh my, it's doing it again. What's going on? Oops, I forgot to put the camera back on, so I finally fixed it. I don't know what really happened, but now it seems to be working fine. And now I'm going to center my flower here. Yeah, I think I'm going to put it in this direction. And I'm trying not to flat it down too much. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, because I think this part here of my flowers, the stems are a bit too dull and one and same color, I'm going to use a little bit of paint, and I am going to color it. So I'm going to grab a little piece of paper here. Let's go back. And I think this paint is quite liquidy, so I'm going to be careful, and I'm going to use a little paintbrush. And that's what I like this technique about in caulk, because you can come back and paint over it. I'm not going to do too much, but just a little bit here and there. And it's going to have this kind of translucent look to it at some points. And this is going to dry because this paint is shiny, maybe even a bit more here and there. This paint is quite translucent. That's funny for an acrylic paint. I'm not used to this brand. That's a bit too much. I'm going to take some away. I like to use my fingers sometimes to paint because I have even more control depending on what I'm doing, but use your fingers when you're painting. That's not a problem. You can smudge the colors sometimes better with the paintbrush. And this is a very relaxing moment as well when you paint. I love doing that. I haven't done any painting tutorial yet, but there's so many things that I'm interested in. I sometimes don't even know what kind of video to make because I don't want to make it too long. I might do very, very long videos. I mean, maybe over an hour if I'm doing some painting. So it's maybe not for everybody, but it might interest some people. And you know what's good with YouTube is that you can always pause it, grab a cup of coffee, come back, or any favorite beverage. That's a little better. I think here it's too translucent. I need to, when it's drying, to put a little more because I can barely see what I'm doing. Should I come a little closer? Let's see. Yes, is it zooming? Yeah, come on, baby. I think I'm going to have to change my camera because it's not as sharp as I would like it to be, so I have to do a lot of editing and make it look nicer and crisper. But if I had a better camera, well, that would go even faster. I wouldn't have to do all this. So sorry if my my drawing or my videos are not always clear, but I hope to be able to fix this very soon. I'm looking for a right camera, actually a camcorder, because the way I have my settings here, it would be better for me because it's lightweight. So that's almost done. I am going to, it's almost even dry, it's so hot. So I'm going to try to go over with my with the Mod Podge. So let me really clean my brush here. And you know, by that time I might do even my, I'm going to let this dry just a few minutes. If you want to skip ahead, do it. I'm just going to keep on doing this with my, the same thing with my bird here to show you what I was trying to do. Let me put this on the other side. That's more convenient for me. So there again, a little closer. Yep. And I'm not going to do this everywhere, just on these parts here. This paint is a bit thin, a bit too liquidy. It's smearing apart. And I'm going to fade out. Start really brighter and fade out. Maybe a second coat to make it a little darker. But I think it already looks much better. A little bit here and there. And it's handmade, right? So we can't really expect to have something perfect. And even sometimes when it's a machine made, it's not always perfect either. I'm not going to touch this part too much because I like the way it looks. And I'm going to call it good. I'm going to put my birdie aside and I'm going to come back because I think this is Yeah, it's almost dry. So I'm gonna go back in here with my where did I put my paint brush? There it is. Let me clean it up. And now I'm going to take this away as well. I'm going to use the glossy Mod Podge and just come everywhere here. And when it's dry, it's really going to be glossy and shiny, and it's going to pop out. Trying not to go on my black paper. Fingers are so useful. And yes, I really like it. Normally one coat should be enough. If you think that it's still not as shiny as you wish, go ahead and do a second one. And surprisingly enough, the glossy Mod Podge, when it dries, it's not as sticky as the normal Mod Podge, the regular one. I don't know why, maybe because I live at a very humid place. It starts to stay sticky forever, but not the glossy one, which is surprising. I would think it would be maybe the opposite or be even worse, but it's not the case. But I don't always want to have something shiny. Sometimes, depending on what you do, you want to have something that is matte, especially when it looks a little old. Yeah, I might have to go back and put a little more here and there, not everywhere. And it really looks different now. Look at this. Oh yeah, I like this shine. Really nice. So yes, I was thinking about putting a sentiment, but I'm not sure yet where to put it, because I had to cut my paper here, my background paper, and with the leftover, I decided to make like 2 tags like this. I just cut them randomly, so I'm not sure if I'm going to use them or not, because I like to focus on my main flower here, and I might just stamp something into the card. And I also like, when it's for sale, I sell my my cards, to put few sentiments in the card, in the envelope, and let the people choose what the card is made for. Maybe it's for get well soon, or a happy birthday, or whatever else the occasion is. So it's nice to put few. I usually also put a foam double adhesive on the back, so they just have to take the backing off and place it wherever they want. So there you have it. The technique with caulk was really interesting, because I've done a card here, but you could also, as I said, use caulk and have dimension on a box, on a wood box, on a cardboard box, or papier mâché. That would be great also. And even for jewelry making, if you want to use a little bit of cardboard and use your caulk to have a really nice thick piece, and then make it as a jewelry, that would be nice too. I might do some examples like this for jewelry making as well, and you will see how interesting it can be. And it's not that much raised. It is raised. I'm not sure you'll be able to see it, but for a card it's enough, because I don't want this to be too heavy, because it's going to change the price, especially in the United States, and I think everywhere else. The heavier, the more expensive it's going to be, but you can really make it bigger if you just apply more on your stencil. So there you have it, caulk ideas to replace your texture paste that also costs a lot of fortune, and you can add sand to it, and it's really easy, and you don't have to use it up. You just close the lid, and you can wait a few days and do some more. So that's also good to know. And yes, it's much more economical. So please give me some thumbs up if you like this video. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell button and share. See you soon for other videos. Bye bye and take care.